Hi, I'm Gail. I'm the tough old bird with a soft spot for single moms. And this year, Allison, one of our single moms, asked me if I would just record the video of me telling you this story rather than just putting the printed version up, which I do every Christmas. So this is for Allison and for you, for any single mom who needs a boost of the Christmas spirit at this difficult time of the year for those of us who were divorced and sharing children during the Christmas season. This is just one of many of my experiences as a single mom. Joy to the World was playing on the radio as I drove along after work, but there was no joy in my heart. It was 5 days before Christmas, and it was going to be the first Christmas that I had without my children. They were born like stair steps, 3 kids in about 37 months, and the older two were in school now, but the youngest one, who was 3, had been placed in child care, and that had just crushed my heart. I had been a stay-at-home mom all those years, and working in the home had been as a whirlwind of diapers and teething and colic and allergies. But now, working outside the home was a necessity. And I quickly realized that teaching theater, my first choice, which required evening rehearsals, would not work. So, just one harsh year after the separation, I was commuting about an hour to teach in another community. This meant that I dressed the children like rag dolls while they were still asleep so that I would have enough time to prepare my lunch and drop them off at the sitter and meet a carpool and arrive at work on time. I felt like I had been put in a day's work before I even arrived at the job. And every evening there were often stacks of dirty dishes, piles of laundry, children needing help with homework, and my own students' papers to grade. I fell asleep most nights, so exhausted that I barely tucked the children into their beds with a goodnight kiss, much less a story and time to talk about their day. All those thoughts whirled through my head as I listened to Joy to the World. It was Friday, and I was on my way to pay the sitter. One blessing that I had found was a wonderful woman who kept children, but my children would not be coming home with me. They would be staying with their dad until after Christmas Day, and he would be picking them up, or so I thought. They were so precious to me, and just the ages that made Christmas extra special. Their eager, wide-eyed expectations had made Christmas morning fun for me the last few years. And I was trying hard not to imagine a Christmas morning without their giggles and squeals of delight when they saw the surprises that had mysteriously appeared under the tree overnight. When I drove my old station wagon into the babysitter's driveway, a familiar, sleek black sports car was parked proudly before me. My heart sank. I knew it was my husband's lady friend coming for my children. Should I stay or go? Confused, I didn't know what to do. Before I could decide to leave my children, they came out of the house, climbed into her car, and waved, "Bye, Mommy," to me as if I was an acquaintance beside the road. They were gone. I went in and I paid the sitter without a word. I returned to my car, where despair overpowered me. Tension grew until all the muscles in my neck and back clenched into knots, and I began to sob. Hot tears fell on the cold steering wheel. How could this be happening? I wondered, how could I get through Christmas without them? Oh God, please, please, please get me through this. As I drove home in a blur, I remembered my mother's overcoming spirit. She often quoted Art Linkletter, "In love's service, only the saddened qualify." Well, I certainly must be qualified, I thought. I have never felt such sadness in all my life, and I was willing to serve in any way to remove that pain. What can I do, God? What can I do? A wonderful idea. Since I had been involved in theater all my life, I would be a Christmas elf for children who were not as fortunate as my own. It was easy to put together a Christmas elf costume, a green felt skirt and tights, which I happened to have, and I had some green elf shoes and a green hat that I made from gift wrapping, and stage makeup completed the look. Then I dialed the number of a local hospital. Hello, I was wondering if you had children who were still in the hospital and if they would like a visit from a Christmas elf. Well, yes, we have a few. Are you with a group? They asked. No, just me. Well, I guess that would be okay. A pause and then, yeah, come on. Soon I was on my way to the children's ward in my little green station wagon. They were sure to be children there that would welcome a visit from a Christmas elf. I would get to see the eyes filled with wonder after all. An elf's arrival in a hospital, even at Christmas, attracts quite a lot of attention. Heads turned and some people grinned, but my goal was so intense that my inhibitions had vanished. I was not even self-conscious. Children still hospitalized so close to December 25th are either very ill or their parents are financially unable to provide a Christmas for them and have opted to just keep them hospitalized. Either way, they needed a boost. His eyes lit up as I walked into the dimly lit room. Hi, Larry. How are you doing? I asked with an elfish grin. He did not speak at first, not believing his eyes. I handed him a candy cane and a coloring book. Say thank you, said an adult voice from the dim corner. Thank you, Larry spoke softly. There were tubes and medical devices all around, but for those brief moments there was no pain and fantasy prevailed. Hi, Darren. Merry Christmas, I said to the older boy in the next room. I just came for a quick visit. Are you for real? He questioned. Sure I am, I replied. It's Christmas, you know. I handed him a candy cane. He was all alone in the room. Dark circles under his eyes and needles in his frail arms made a clear picture that he would be hospitalized for a while yet. I sat on the edge of his bed and read How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The last child I saw was a girl. She was very unhappy about being in the hospital and made it clear that she did not get off to elves at Christmas or any other time for that matter. She took the candy and seemed pleased that I treated her with respect, even though I was an elf after all. Christmas is really a birthday celebration, you know, I said. She nodded. What is your name? I asked. Treva, she said clearly. That's Reva, with a T in front for tough. I could tell she did not really want to be as tough as she thought she needed to be. I held her hand and she began to relax a little. A faint smile came to her lips. Well, Treva, I said, I hope that you will remember to celebrate the birthday party. I left her smiling with an inexpensive little necklace as a gift. I did not linger long with any of them. I hoped to provide each child with a bit of fantasy to tell others about or just give them a fond memory. The element of surprise was the best gift. The expression on their faces inspired me, too. The spirit of Christmas, the spirit of Christ was coming through. Christmas, the spirit of love, love in action. It was so exhilarating, in fact, that I went on to 2 other hospitals without even calling ahead. Walking in unannounced added to the drama for me as well as the staff at the hospital. On the way home, as I sat at a traffic light in my tiny green wagon and green costume with my red painted cheeks and artificial freckles, I was so wrapped up in the adventure that I forgot about my appearance. I glanced over to the other lane and saw a gentleman in a black suit and tie driving a huge black Cadillac, laughing. I looked at myself through his eyes, and my pain was gone. I had completely forgotten my sorrow and myself. Christmas was not about me, after all. It was about the gift, about Christ. I could go back to my empty house now and plan for the after Christmas celebration. When my children returned, I would have a spirit of true joy in my heart, the joy of Christmas, that I would continue to share with others, regardless of my circumstances.